In this video we're going to have a look at M1. So there is no new content this week, nothing extra to do for the P tasks. It's purely the merit task this week, and then I'll allocate the distinction task another week. So let's jump into it then. So in M1 we need to make a flow diagram, and this is an extension of the P1 and P2 task where we looked at the functional areas of a company. So in a nutshell, what we've got to do is we've got to make a diagram that shows 3 internal areas and 2 external areas, and look at how they generate and move data about in that company. So you might want to pick Tesco or PC World and think about what areas of the functional areas that company has. They might have a sales department or a personnel department or manufacturing, and they might communicate with the government bodies or local councils or research companies and so on. So I want you to pick 3 internal and 2 external, and then you're going to make a diagram. You can do this on paper or you can do this on an online drawing tool, or Paint or Word or however you want to do it. Now this is not a really good example for this unit. It's just a general information flow diagram I've found on the internet, and there are not many of them to look at. So this one's not brilliant. It's not got the external companies on either, but it'll give you an idea of the type of thing I mean. So in this example, we don't know what company it is, but we know that there's the training department, the personnel and payroll. And we can see that looking at the personnel, we've got them passing employee details and bank details to the payroll department. And the personnel, they're getting things coming in, such as people are booking holidays and so on. References might be going out and requests might be coming in. And they might be highlighting training, which goes to the training team, and then training team might send reports to managers about who's done what, and so on. So these arrows represent information that's flowing from one area to another area, or coming in from somewhere that's not on the diagram into that area. So you might also include the government, and they might send legislation to the personnel department, saying your staff must do this training or something like that as a requirement. So I want you to make a diagram, 3 areas and 2 external areas, and show how the information is being moved around from area to area. So as a summary, you're going to pick a company, choose the functional areas, 3 internal and 2 external. You're going to identify the information that moves from area to area. And I've put remember to colour code, so I'll just mention this. It's not mandatory, but it would probably really help you in making this diagram. So if you used red, that would be information that department would generate. So maybe the sales department would generate sales figures, or the personnel department would generate timetables of personnel. The blue is which information comes from other departments. So you might have information coming in to a department, like a holiday request comes into personnel. That might be blue. And then in green, any information that department generates that's not passed on. So it might be that you've got confidential information in personnel that doesn't go anywhere else within that company, or you've got some figures in I don't know, this the marketing area that no other area of the company needs to know those. So have a think about it that way. It should make it easier to do it by colour rather than more difficult. And the role function of each area is in black. So you could, where it says personnel, you could just do a very brief description of what that is. So, you know, it's the department that holds all the records of the people who work for the company, or the payroll. They process all the you know, the wages of the people who work in the company. So hopefully the colours will be a help rather than something that would be extra work. So yeah, please submit this as an image, or as an image inside a document for M1, and I'll mark it separately. But there's no writing. Please don't attach lots of writing about these. I know you all like to go crazy with the writing, but just leave it as the diagram, please. Thank you, and I look forward to receiving that work.